Hey everyone, we are back in the kitchen. Well, not yet. This is a whole another room that is not the kitchen. But we will be in the kitchen shortly because this weekend I have a party to attend, and there are two things in life that I thoroughly enjoy, and that is coffee and professional wrestling. But that has nothing to do with what's going on this weekend. I am going to gift the party goers with my hors d'oeuvre slash dessert, it can be either or really, of fried milk. Saw this online. Sounds terrible. We're going to do it though, because it's a delicacy out in the Far East. So why not? It seems to be like a custard kind of substitute. We're going to, fry it golden brown. It'll be delicious. Well, maybe we can get some fancy and put some syrup on it or whatnot. But let's just first see if it works. So without further ado, movie magic. Let's go to the kitchen. Okay, magic got me into the kitchen, but the magic didn't stop me from falling down the basement steps. So if I look weird and hobbly, that's probably the reason why. So fried milk is going to be like a glorified custard almost. No milk, no egg product, at least initially here. So what we are going to do is basically thicken up and sweeten some milk, warm it up a bit, and then we'll transfer it to a parchment paper lined container here in a bit. But first, gotta get the milk and all that good stuff going. So, I'm gonna start with 1 cup of milk just to kind of like lube up the pot. That is not the right burner. Okay, so we got 1 cup milk in there now. We're gonna do a 2nd cup. I'm technically doubling the recipe given to me, so we'll see how much it makes. Maybe I'll triple it. I don't know. We'll find out here in a moment. Anywho, 2 cups milk. Actually, what I'm going to do is the sugar next. I'm going to end up doing 2/3 cup of sugar, just regular white sugar. 2. And we'll kind of get that mixed in. Let that dissolve for a bit. Whisk. Whisk! Except I'm not using a whisk, I'm using a rubber scraper. Alright, we're going to call that a good start. Probably fast forwarded through that, but whatever, man. Now we're going to do about a full cup of cornstarch. So this will be our primary thickening agent to help stabilize the liquid milk, giving us, something to actually fry instead of just splashing liquid into a fryer and burning myself. Alright, we'll start with that. That wasn't the full cup, but things like this prone to clumping. So we're going to keep stirring this. Pop in the rest and just kind of go to town. And once this gets incorporated, like proper, we'll kind of set a mental timer. You don't have to set a physical one, whatever. Do it. I don't care. I'm not the boss of you. I'm not even sure why we're here. But for about 3 to 5 minutes or so, you'll want to keep this simmering and stirring. One thing I've learned in my ice cream battles that it doesn't take long for milk to kind of burn. So we do want to kind of keep this moving. But in about like 3 to 5 minutes or so, it will thicken up rightly and kind of give us our base for our next steps. So we'll see how I feel when I edit this. Maybe we'll fast forward a bit. Maybe we'll just go ahead and show the end results after the fact. But we're just going to let this go until it just like loosely coats this here spatula. All right, that's what we have come up with.
I think it's going to be good enough for like a first wave, and we'll just see how it goes tomorrow. But here we're going to go into the fridge and let it set up. Um, Recipes call for about a couple hours, but really what I'm going to do is go overnight with it. So we'll see how that turns out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah, look at that. It's been sitting overnight. I've wrapped the top of it with plastic wrap to kind of keep it from getting extra moisture. I've poked it a little bit, and I don't know if it's actually supposed to be this soft at various points, but I probably could have used a bit more cornstarch. But you know, that's what happens when you kind of wing things. So we are going to come up with a dredge. I'm going to cut this the best of my abilities and create a dredging station, and then we're going to get ready to fry.
All right, what we're going on over here, is a 3-prong dipping station. First with cornstarch, then eggs. I only put in one, but I think I should have done 2. And in this case, Ritz crackers. Felt that would go good with the milk. You can use panko, breadcrumbs, some other cookie, whatever, but this is just what we're playing around with. And then over here in the fryer, we have canola oil. Peanut oil might have worked as well, just kind of depending on what you're going for. So we're going to take milk to cornstarch to egg to crackers, and then into the fryer for 3-4 minutes or so. So we're going to see how this goes. My previously destabilized milk product. Oh no. I don't think it's going to work at all, at least for what I've done. So we're just going to make milk balls, I guess. Roll. Let that go. Give that a handful of minutes. We'll see what happens. I don't think I've put enough cornstarch in the original mix, though. All right, is the moment of truth. I have spent entirely too long frying little bits of sticky milk because I probably didn't do something right, didn't have enough cornstarch or whatever. So I had to finagle. They didn't come out as like full bars, but whatever, I made do. And this is kind of what they look like at the moment. Look like fritters. Great, groovy. Haven't doctored them up anything, haven't given them any like sugar or anything of the like. Because I figured, we should do a plain taste test first. This is how I treat my coffee, this is how I used to treat my booze. If you have something new, gotta try it out. Gotta try the base flavor before you know what else you can do with it. I mean, yes, you can just make stuff up, but like, why? Why would you do that? It's like you just have your own cooking show and just fry milk or something. But that being said, it's time. I got all this stuff frying, got it ready to go. You're gonna take your small nougat, and get back in the shot proper, and let's just see how this goes. It's actually not bad. It is not pleasurable on your palate, but it's not gross. Let me get back into the shot because I'm still just waving along, not quite here yet. It's not horrible, really. I think if we, tighten things up, maybe a little bit more sugar, experiment, put some chocolate in it or something. But I definitely am going to I don't know, doctor it up a little bit, make it a little bit sweeter because it is touch on the bland side, not quite enough sugar content in there for my liking. But then again, like, I will eat an entire bag of granulated sugar a day if given my choice. Yowie wowie! So, that being said, not horrible. When you do this at home, just you might want to throw in a touch more cornstarch in there because mine turned out still like a little bit soupy. I had like a layer of, I wouldn't go full on call it slime, but it was a bit more liquid than it should be, and they didn't cut clean. Like, I basically, while the camera was off, pretty much just kind of like just scooped a bit out, rolled in an egg, and then patted things down in the Ritz crackers, then go into the fryer. I mean, obviously I didn't do a whole lot of plating stuff on it. So, that being said, so this was a semi-success? 3/4 of a success, I will say. Oh, and that light is bothering me on here. I mean, maybe we'll fix it in post, or maybe I'll just back up a notch. There we go. So, like, it was 3/4 of a success. Really? Like, cool, I think. So there's not a whole lot much more to talk about it. In case I don't edit this properly, don't put the tag at the end or whatever. Thank you all for bearing with me in this little experiment. I think this is somewhere around number 20, so I've done a lot of these, and I haven't really done a whole lot, like, a regular one per se in quite a while. I've been doing, like, the weird artsy stuff or just wandering around aimlessly with the camera. But thank you all. Be sure to like and subscribe if you so desire. I mean, I would appreciate it. It bumps up my metrics and the algorithms and blah 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 blah. Check out the links below so you can find me on the social medias. You know, if you really like the stuff and you want to, like, support my kitchen nightmares, feel free to join the Patreon. That'll be in the link below too. To help, I don't know, buy ingredients, upgrade my equipment. You know, get a better island to cook at so I'm not just like standing in the corner next to the stove. You know, all that good stuff. Even have merch. I'm not wearing my merch proper, but I do actually have, in addition to my podcast, MLW Confusion, I do have Cass's Kitchen merch. The link will be in below because I didn't buy a real domain. So maybe if you join my Patreon, I'll get a real domain for that too. So goals, people, goals. But in the meanwhile, like, subscribe, blah, 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 link below. Thank you all for bearing with me. And when you do this, if you do this, I hope it turns out better for you.